Rumors, and more rumors. But that's what the offseason's all about. What's up, Disgenerates? It's the Disc Golf World. I'm Jefferson, and this is day 2 of Discmas, where we post a video every single day of December. If that doesn't deserve a subscribe, I don't know what does. Big thanks to all our Patreon members for the continued support. Let's get straight into this rumor mill. A couple weeks ago, we were told that Kyle Klein wasn't going to be on Team Discmania for the next season, which was insane to hear because he's currently only on year 2 of the 4 he was signed through. I also want to add that extension was done earlier than it needed to, as Discmania wanted to secure the young star. Turned out pretty well, as he would go on to win USDGC that next season, along with another Elite Series event. According to the Ultiworld article, Klein was guaranteed 6 figures each year with room to grow. At least that was originally the plan, and it would quickly look promising for Kyle to become the face of the brand, with Simon Lizotte departing, followed then by Eagle McMahon. Instead, Discmania seemed to change directions, going all in on Gannon Buhr. To be fair, that panned out pretty well too, but where does that put Klein? At least that lawsuit gave him another year to prove himself, and a major title seems like the best way he could do that. Unfortunately for him, the pictures of the kid were already a year ready, and the plan to push Gannon as the new face was already in motion, and after that 2024 season, it's hard for them to change from that plan. Their narrative was now switched to Discmania looking to pick up 2-time world champion Isaac Robinson. If you want to see more evidence on why I think that's actually going to happen, check out yesterday's video. But all you gotta know is the only manufacturer besides Prodigy that he follows on Instagram is Discmania. Yeah, not the best evidence, but it's what we got currently. I mean, fans have speculated this was going to be the move for a while now, and honestly, I never saw that happening, because how could they afford it? That was until I learned that disc golf contracts, well, they're about as important as this. Actually, you know what? At least I can rely on the toilet paper keeping the shit away from me. All I'm saying is I went from no way Isaac goes to Discmania to oh my god, Isaac's gonna go to Discmania. Now that doesn't mean Kyle Klein is gonna leave. Not confirmed. Although, if we hear anything, we'll let you know right away. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. But how would you feel grinding for a team, never getting into drama, pulling huge wins, and then constantly getting put into the shadows for other players that just joined the team? It's business and sport, so I'm not going to blame anyone. But if I was Kyle, I would be pretty upset. I can only imagine what would happen if Isaac does end up joining Discmania, especially after what some might call a disappointing season from Klein. Which is also really lame, since the dude is 10th in the world standings. Just because he didn't get a win doesn't mean he wasn't balling. Okay, maybe balling isn't the right word, and according to Kyle himself, he summed it up as calling it meh. Actually, let me just remind all of you how his season went, so you can comment below your thoughts on his season. Klein started the year with a top 5 finish at chess.com, which gave fans hope for another stellar year. He continued that success in Texas with a 7th, 2nd, and 10th place finish. Kyle was able to put himself in positions for good placements, but wasn't necessarily playing for the win. The Open at Austin was his best effort yet, with a great final round, but not enough to capture the victory. Probably was just the holes they took out. Unfortunately, after a solid start, would have his worst finish on tour since last year's Preserve. But that 27th wouldn't be nearly as bad as the DNF at MCO right before the first major of the season, where he bounced back with a 17th. Still, not where he wants to be, but handled Northwood better than most. Headed over to the golf course in Emporia, where he would do better, this time a 16th. But then would start to find his groove. Got back on the top 10 train at Portland and sniffed the top 5 for the first time since his 2nd place at Austin. Kyle would suffer a similar fate at the Preserve. He went into the final round with the stroke lead on the field. Ricky Wysocki smelt blood in the water and put the pressure on Klein, who would shoot his worst round of the event. Story of the season for Kyle Klein was his lack of ability to finish rounds, and spoiler, would be the last time he truly was battling at the top. Without a doubt playing great disc golf, but was unable to secure the win. And after that runner-up finish, would see another drop with back-to-back 25th place finishes. Another top 20 at a major, and a glimpse of greatness at the festival. Let's keep that in mind for Worlds next year. Although on the final round lead card, would still be back 5 strokes. Even came back to the States firing with the 6th at Ledgestone. Found himself on another lead card, but couldn't get it done. That would be the last time Kyle would be inside the top 10, besides the championship. But we don't even count that. Not to say he was doing bad necessarily, but when you're a former Idlewild champion, an 11th place doesn't feel great. Neither does a 23rd at Worlds, a 21st at D-Glow, 23rd at GMC, 20th at MVP, and 29th at USDGC. Like I said, not great, but majority of players aren't complaining about those finishes. Although we're talking about a debatable top 10 talent. For some reason, that isn't popular, as lots of fans are claiming he's overrated, which sounds really weird to me. I know he didn't have a win this year, but that would be the first time since his rookie season. And again, he is a former US champion and Rookie of the Year, so let's put some respect on his name, please. Now, if Kyle Klein does end up leaving Discmania, where does he go? The first place you gotta look is Discraft with the headquarters around his home, but their team already looks stacked. And with the recent Ezra news, is there any more room? Innova? I mean, maybe. He is a former champ, just the US variety. MVP? Trilogy? Lone Star? Yeah, I'm gonna go with no on all those. Guys, let us know in the comments if you think Discmania is making room for Isaac, or if Kyle is gonna remain on the squad for 2025. And while you're down there, let us know your overall thoughts of Klein, because that's what we asked over on Instagram, which you should follow, by the way, if you want to be featured in Disc Golf World videos. These are what some fans had to say, and I don't think Zach Melton has ever been wrong in his life. Here's another example. Casey White says when he's on, no one can stop him, and from his performances, it's hard to argue. Kevin Kiefer III says he has an underrated forehand, which I've been saying for a while now. I've been the president of the Kyle Klein fan club since I first saw him at 2020 Silver Cup in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and shared a beer with his uncle at chess.com, so feel like we're a part of the family at this point. Here's what all the other disgenerates had to say. I feel like Klein is fine right where he is. If he continues to build on his consistency, his skills are already there. If he can work on a positive mindset even when things aren't going great, I think he can flip the switch to become a multiple-time Elite Series winner in just a year. He's already shown he can play on all types of courses, and if anything, plays way better in the woods. Off the tee isn't his problem, as he's top 10 in fairway hits, C1 and C2 regulation, which results in lots more birdies. Now, those putting stats aren't looking too great. Those do happen to be a dip from the previous season, so hopefully that won't be as big of an issue. Overall, I don't understand how people can say Kyle is overrated or not good. When his down season is still 10th in the world, I'm not too worried. It's not like his finishes are all over the place. Literally the worst he did was 29th at USDGC. And you know what? I don't know what the pressure of being defending US champion as a 22-year-old would feel like. Probably pretty stressful. So I'm not going to talk down upon the former champ and just hope he uses that as motivation for next year. Even though Gannon's just going to get his third. Yep, you heard that right. I'm just saying it now so no one can say I copied someone else's chalk pick. That's going to wrap up the first player profile of the season. If you want more player season breakdowns, the next one will be Chris Dickerson. So make sure to subscribe for that and plenty more content all throughout December.
Guys, if you are not on the Kyle Klein train, all aboard, man.
JK's been on that one for a while.
This has been like a year in the making. I said after I saw him play Silver Creek, he is legit. He's got all the skills, and not only that, guys, this isn't no fluke. We saw last week 5 down through the front five, front five that was played.
Final round.
He was robbed last week, and he was just kind of claiming the title he'd really deserved and showing that he's legit. Not only that, we obviously place our bets on Prize Picks. Yes. Little plug right there. Go bet on some disc golf over there. We bet on Kyle Klein, being one of those like locked guys because I feel like this is his style of course.
I rode Klein under all 3 days.
Yeah,
and it was a breeze.
Yeah,
it was definitely a breeze.
He's someone who strives in the woods, and we watched the front 9 when he's only +3 or +2 on the front 9. We were scared.
Gotcha,
or -2. Sorry,
I gotcha.
Sorry. I was nervous. I was like, how's he going to put up something so fantastic? Yeah. It goes 7 down through the back 9. Oh, man. Insane. Yeah. Just shredded it.
Absolutely. And he can scramble well, too. I think that's what we noticed in this tournament a lot.